Welcome to my 2023 setup build. If you're new here, let's rewind a little bit and go back to where it all started. I've had several setups over the years, and perhaps the most popular was this one right here, which won a seal of approval from TechSource on Setup Wars. Fast forward a couple years, I met my husband Josh, we built an awesome gaming room together, and as cool as it was, we learned a few things, and we also moved. First, I don't like to game where I work. The last gaming room was always cluttered with filming equipment. We had to put stuff up and take it down. It was a nightmare. But we solved this with our new place because we now have this dedicated studio that we built, which is specifically for making videos. Secondly, there was way too much RGB. My taste has changed a little over the last few years, and I wanted something a bit cleaner, more functional, while still having that futuristic vibe that I like. And third, I don't need a huge setup anymore. I've got a massive TV in the living room for big screen gaming. I've got a studio to film in. All I need is a nice, clean space to chill out, play games, and get work done. Which brings us to today. Let's build a setup. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor, because this setup is not going to pay for itself.
This video is brought to you by bobkeys.com. You guys know the drill. You've just finished building your brand new PC, you boot it up, and bam, that hideous Activate Windows watermark appears. And the worst part is you forgot to budget $200 for an activation key from Microsoft because you spent it all on RGB. But that's okay, because you don't need to spend $200. You can pick one up from today's video sponsor, bobkeys.com, for 1/10 of the price. The best part is you can use my code TT25 for 25% off, which takes this already cheap Windows 10 Pro key from around $22 to $16. If you're in the UK, that's £13. You place your order, your activation code gets added to your orders page, you whack it into the Windows activation screen, and boom, you're fully activated. No more watermarks being burned into your retinas. TT25 for 25% off, link in description.
Now you guys might be wondering, where is my setup going to go? So it's actually going to go into this built-out wall behind me, and Josh's setup is going to go on the other side, and that's going to be in a different video next week. But let's go ahead and grab everything that I have for my setup so that we can get building. So we have my Thermaltake office chair, a sit-stand desk from Office, IKEA lac shelves, IKEA Masalanda shelves, black wood panels from the wood veneer hub, and finally a chair from Steelcase, which I do plan on using in this setup, but that will be for another video. I just wanted to showcase it in this setup build. The build begins with this beautiful sit-stand desk provided by Office. This is their shift desk, and I reached out to them a couple months back when we were in the planning stages, since I really wanted this setup to have more of a productivity slash functional aspect to it. Now, I'm actually very excited to try this desk out since I've never really had a setup with a sit-stand desk before, and since I work from home, it's definitely going to be nice to have the option to stand up every now and then. They do have several different desks, color options, and accessories to choose from. I decided to go for a white top along with black legs for a bit of contrast. Assembly is fairly straightforward. I think it took around 20 minutes altogether. Now, Office also sent out this cable management solution along with a dedicated power strip which mounts underneath the desk. I thought that was pretty cool. Now, I would definitely recommend this if you're thinking of getting a sit-stand desk. You can tuck all your cables away out of sight, as well as plug in all your devices, including the desk itself, into just one power strip. That way you only have to worry about the length of one cable when raising or lowering the desk. It also has this awesome LCD display that shows the exact height, as well as 4 different presets that you can save for quick and easy adjustments. And also, the surface of this desk has a really nice matte feel to it. More on the desk later. Let's move on to building out the space. Now that we have the desk put together, it's time to start putting up the panels on the wall. It is getting a little dark outside, but these are the same panels that we used in our studio, and I like them so much that I thought they would also match the theme that I was going for in my setup. So let's go ahead and put these up on the wall. We did have to cut these to get them to fit since we wanted the panels to be centered, which left about an extra third of a panel on each side. The best way we found to cut these is to use a circular saw with a fine-tooth blade to avoid chipping. Now that we have the first layer of panels up, we can start moving on to the wood panels. These are from the wood veneer hub. They have a few different colors to choose from, but I think the black ones look super modern and will contrast nicely with the desk that I chose. Now, they do come in at 94 inches tall, so we did have to trim the bottom of them to fit, and there's also an outlet on the wall that we had to cut around, but the miter saw definitely came in handy for this one. As you can see, once they were up on the wall, it came out looking really nice, and we're also going to be adding neon lighting to these later on in the video, so make sure you watch till the end. Next up, it's time to start on the shelving. We're using IKEA's lac shelves, which again, we're cutting the size to fit the space using a circular saw, and we're actually actually doing 3 shelves in this setup. The first 2 are going to be for decoration. Meanwhile, the third shelf is really just going to be a finishing piece to separate the rest of the shelving from this odd gap between the air duct and the ceiling. I don't really know what's going on there, so yeah. All right, so it is time to get the shape of the fire alarm for the panel. Now this is a contour gauge that we got off of Amazon. I've seen these and I've always wanted one, but it basically conforms to any shape that you want when you're trying to cut anything that's custom, and it comes off, and all you need to do is trace that onto whatever you're cutting. I wish we would have had this when we did our other setups. It would have made life so much easier. A quick straight cut with the circular saw, along with finishing up the Dremel for the curved top section, and it was ready to test. Moment of truth, guys. Does it fit? Let's see. Like a glove. Fire alarm taken care of, it's time to finish up installing the rest of the 3D panels. And again, we're just continuing the same pattern here to the second and third shelf. All right, so we finished putting up all the 3D panels, and honestly, they look really good. Josh did a phenomenal job of cutting all of them. I definitely don't think I would have done that good of a job if I did it. But let me give you guys a closer look so you can appreciate all of his hard work. All right, there we go. We got the top all the way down to the bottom. Looking pretty good. Time to move on to the lighting. So we're gonna put some lights on each one of these shelves, and they're all gonna be facing down. It's gonna be white light, not RGB. And then in this wall panel over here, we're gonna put some RGB neon strips. Let me show you guys a closer look at what we're doing for our custom lighting. So these are some metal channels that we got off of Amazon, and then we have our own white LED strips inside of them that we soldered our own white cables as well, and they're gonna attach to each other with these right here. Now, one of the main reasons we went the custom route is because this time around we wanted to be able to make the LED strips fit each shelf. In the last setup, we had just one long strip looping between each of the shelves, and it looked kind of messy, honestly. Now, the aluminum channels also help to diffuse some of the light and give everything a more finished look, and after taking care of a few of the cables, this is what it came out looking like. Also, if you're wondering why we didn't put a light up on the top, that's because that shelf up there is not going to have any Masalanda shelves on the front. That's basically like, think of a headboard, it's the finish, and the light is up on this side facing up. So basically, it's just a finished piece. Now, to add neon to the wood panels, this is a really cool hack I randomly came up with while Josh and I were designing the new studio. It basically consists of pushing Govi's neon desk strips into the gaps of the wood panels, and they fit so perfectly that you don't even need to stick them down. They just stay there on their own. It's a really easy way to add some unique lighting to any slat panel wall, and the end result looks absolutely amazing in person. The last step to finish off the main space is to add the IKEA Masalanda shelves that I talked about earlier in the video. They did require a few cuts to get them to fit, but after all of that was done, all we had to do is flip them upside down and add them to the front of the lack shelves to create this nice custom look. With the space finished and the desk pushed into place, it's almost time to start putting together the setup itself, although there's one more piece of furniture to add, and that is the filing cabinet from Ergon Office. It's not as big as, say, an IKEA Alex drawer, but it's got just enough space for all the essentials that I need to keep nearby, and the bottom drawer is also lockable as well, which is great because I can keep all of my snacks away from Josh. With that said, it's finally time to start adding everything to the desk. Now, I will be going over all of this stuff in a lot more detail in the final tour when we finish Josh's setup in the coming weeks. But theme-wise, I wanted to keep everything mainly in line with the black and white aesthetic. Some of this stuff is from my previous setup and some of it is brand new. After everything was installed and plugged in, we were left with a bit of cable mess, and this is where the cable management solution from Ergon Office really comes in clutch to help get everything looking nice and tidy. There's even this really cool spine which you can use to route the main power cable down to the floor for a super clean finish. I also decided last minute to add a Govi M1 RGB LED strip to the bottom of the desk and behind the monitor for those times when I want to have more relaxed ambient lighting. We have reached the final step of the setup build, so this is my chair right here, and as you can see, these wheels right here, they gotta go because they are really loud. Actually, let me show you how loud they are when you sit in it. So basically, the wheels that we got here are kind of like rollerblade wheels. They're this gel material. Let's install them. I would say those wheels sound a lot quieter than those ones. The gaming setup is finally done and it looks awesome. It looks better than I actually imagined that it was going to. It's modern, it's futuristic, it's black and white. It's got everything that I need for work and gaming. Honestly, I'm just really happy with it. So without further ado, let's check out the new gaming setup. That about wraps it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if there's anything in the video that you wanted to check out, it will all be linked down below in the description. And also a huge shout out to AMD, Thermaltake, and Ergon Office for making this all possible. Until next time, guys, we will catch you in the next one.